Hello everyone, welcome back to Genshin Impact. Thank you for joining me today. We are at the victory feast from the previous episode. We need to speak to everybody here, and yeah, well, let's just dive straight into it.
Ah, there you are, traveler. Well, how is it? Are you enjoying the feast today? If there's anything you're unhappy with, just let me know. I'll be sure to take note of it.
Well, it's great, thanks for inviting me.
That's good. It's the first time I've ever invited so many exceptional people to one place. I was a little nervous myself. You see, every guest here is quite extraordinary. It's unbelievable that we've got everyone together here. Almost like a fairy tale. Make sure you live it up tonight. I'll be happy as long as you're enjoying yourselves.
We have a message to tell you. You tell Satara's message to Nilu.
I'm honored to have her think of me this way. If I have a chance in the future, I would really like to invite her to one of my performances. I can't explain why, but I just feel elated right now. Thank you.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're happy. Let's go speak to Silo.
The atmosphere here is good, and everything is delicious.
It must be rare to see you at such a lively gathering.
Yeah. I don't often come to such places, but it feels quite good.
Yeah, it's kind of good to let your hair down once in a while.
I have a lot to handle these days. Otherwise, I could show you around.
It's alright, don't worry about us.
There's always next time. We're friends after all.
Oh, well, thank you for making that distinction.
This feast is pretty good. I like it.
Awesome. That seems like a rare kind of glimpse into Sino when he's relaxed.
I seldom participate in such lively gatherings, but the atmosphere here is quite good.
I thought you might find it boring.
No. This gathering today has a unique meaning. The Grand Bazaar is lively because the people here feel happiness from the bottom of their hearts, unlike the farces at the Academia. That happiness is an emotion that'll be forever alien to those bookworms who have driven themselves insane by studying. I seem to have taken both keys when I left the house. Oh well.
Oh, you've locked Carve out? Is that what you're saying? you don't care? I get it. Dear.
My lady, the grilled meat over there is delicious. Have you tried it?
Yes, I also tried some fruit just now. Oh, they're very sweet. What an amazing place to relax. No wonder everybody likes to rest at the Grand Bazaar.
You said it. Oh, look who else is here.
Hello. Oh, I'm so happy Nilu invited everybody. Oh, now I have the chance to meet all the heroes.
Oh, my pleasure. I'm glad you could come.
Hey, less of that polite chit-chat and more eating and drinking. The feast is about having fun, not stuffy formalities.
Hey, what's wrong? Your head is starting to droop.
I'm suddenly a little sleepy. Feels like I'm about to nod off.
Hey, you can't just fall asleep here. Paimon will go find something delicious for you to eat. You wake up once you've put something yummy in your tummy.
Really?
Of course. Just wait here for Paimon.
Yeah, I feel something bad might happen here. Is it because I didn't sleep well last night that I feel sleepy all of a sudden? Or is it because I'm too full? Seems like someone is there. Everyone's lost their colour. And they're frozen. It's me. Okay. Panic over. Neither. It looks like my consciousness is connected to yours again.
You may blame me for being a bit too self-indulgent. I was thinking about talking with you, and the next thing I knew, I had made a connection with you. The connection between us is amazing. It's like flora and the fence it grows upon.
Is there anything you need from me?
I heard there's an amazing celebration feast today at the Grand Bazaar. I wanted to have a look for myself, so I snuck in. Lately, I've been so busy dealing with all the fallout from recent events, so I really haven't had any free time. Although you've already helped me with a lot, there's still one more thing I hope you can help me with.
What is it?
Please say thank you to everyone for me.
I think we can do that. Ah, so that's what this is about. It'd be better if you could do that yourself.
Oh, is it not convenient for you to do that for me?
Some things in this world must be done by yourself.
But if I just show up all of a sudden, people will become all quiet and stiff, won't they? What if I end up scaring them and ruining this wonderful feast? That'd be the last thing I want.
It'll be fine. Please don't worry too much.
Let me think about it. Okay.
Have you made up your mind?
Yes, I have.
That's good. Wait, her? She
You
possessed
said I
us.
should go thank everyone as myself, right? So, I've decided to borrow your body for the time being. Please don't blame me. The flora also climbs up to the fence to get closer to the sky.
Then at least promise me you won't say anything weird when you're in my body. God. Oh, that'd be a weird experience.
Everyone! Are you awake now? Paimon was just about to bring you the food. It's me. Huh? That voice. Nehira?
Hold up, what's going on?
I didn't expect to have a conversation with the consciousness of Lesser Lord Kusanali in the Grand Bazaar. Interesting. Is this also a part of the feast?
No, of course not. Are you Lesser Lord Kusanali?
Hello, Nilu.
You know who I am?
Yes, I already know every one of you. Nilu, Alhaitham, Sino, Dia, Paimon, and Dunyarzad.
Lesser Lord Kusanali?
I took the liberty of occupying the traveler's body so that I could thank all of you in person. Thank you so much for rescuing me, even if that meant placing your own safety in peril and taking the risk of becoming enemies with the academia, the sages, the doctor, the balladeer, and even the entirety of Sumeru. Without you, without any of you, I would have been in a much more difficult situation. Had you not helped me to resolve the crisis, not only I, but Sumeru and even the entirety of Teyvat would have suffered great misfortune. People refer to you as the heroes who managed to rescue a god. I'm quite fond of this name. It not only explains your identities, but also bears witness to your relationship with me. Please, allow me to present to you my most sincere gratitude.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, you have done so much for Sumeru, and I didn't even have a chance to do anything for you. You don't have to do this.
Dunyarzad, the suffering you endured during your illness is also proof of you being with me and praying for me. Thank you.
You don't need to be so ceremonious. It's always been my duty to protect you.
This is how the relationship between the Academia and Dendro Archon should be. We just did what was necessary and set things back on the right path.
You're an Archon, but you act so humble. You really don't need to be so polite with us.
I'm honored to have been able to take part in this plan. I hoped you liked the dance I dedicated to you.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much.
See? Just like I said, everybody's very happy to meet you.
Yeah.
Nehira shows up for a surprise visit and brings the feast to its climax. Sincere joy flows in the hearts of everyone present. A warm atmosphere of talking and laughter carries on late into the night. And the feast ends on a perfect note. wasn't that wonderful? Well, the next day,
Are you awake? Did you rest well?
I think I slept alright.
After Nahida left, you ate a lot of food. You've become a glutton.
Still nothing compared to Paimon.
That just means you still have a lot to learn from Master Paimon, the Sage of Gluttony. Alright, since you're awake now, should we go and have a chat with Nahida? She should be in the academia right about now. If you have any questions, now's your chance to ask.
Alright, I guess we can go and do that. Oh, there's Nahida. Let's go and see how she is.
Nahida! Hello, Traveler and Paimon. What a fantastic night. I'm still immersed in all the happiness and joy, like a candle floating on water. So are we, and that's why we're here to talk with you. Is there anything you want to know?
Okay, let's go through these then. About the Akasha.
After recent events, the Akasha can no longer function as it used to. I've given it some thought, and have decided to shut it down permanently. But this is definitely not a bad thing. Even from the beginning, I've been planning to shut it down. The Akasha's centralized administration of knowledge has always restrained people's curiosity and curtailed the number of paths available to them. I don't think this is good for Sumeru. Although people may initially feel a little uncomfortable with the loss of the Akasha, they will soon understand that this life is more suitable for them. And as for the future of Sumeru, I'm preparing to regain control of the academia. The former sages have received their punishment, but the new sages have yet to be selected. I will oversee the process personally. I hope that the new 6 great sages will be more focused on academics. Sumeru needs such leaders more than ever. The other big issue is the people of King Deshret. All the residents of the desert, in fact. They have been mistreated for far too long. I've already taken some measures to address this. It will take some time to rebuild everything, but no matter if it's culture, friendship, or trust, we will rebuild it.
About what happened after I fell asleep that day.
You mean, what happened after the doctor put you to sleep?
Did he take the Gnosis?
You guessed correctly. The top-ranked Fatui Harbingers, up to number 3, possess power comparable to that of gods. I was no match for him in that kind of situation. However, in spite of the bad situation, I still managed to make a fair deal with the doctor. I'm sure you remember the entity that changed your fate, the Heavenly Principles.
Oh yes, people were saying about this in the comments of the last one, or the one before that, about the Heavenly Principles. I didn't catch that. That was the god right from the beginning of the game that separated us from our brother. Yeah.
In fact, the Heavenly Principles has been quiet since the Conria disaster 500 years ago. I used this point as leverage against the doctor. I told him that the Heavenly Principles may be awakened if I destroy the Gnosis. Although it's just a bluff, he still fell for it. I assumed that the Heavenly Principles wouldn't just stand by and let such extensive damage to its laws take place. And as for what I exchanged for the Gnosis, the exchange served as both punishment for the doctor, as well as a boon of new knowledge that I couldn't refuse as the God of Wisdom.
Okay, about the Balladeer.
He's still in a coma. I've hidden him like how one would hide a feather.
How would you hide a feather? Put it in with a bunch of other feathers?
I know you have many misgivings about him, but as someone who had become a god, he has retained a number of very useful features. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on him and make sure he doesn't do any evil. In addition, there are still some mysteries left in him. Some things may be very clear from my perspective, but he is still yet to understand them himself. His future will be determined by fate.
Okay, I'm sure we'll find out more about that in the future. About Fontaine, the next stop on my journey.
Is that where you're headed next? Fontaine, the nation of justice? As far as I know, that nation operates in a judicial system. Does their Archon personally judge people? No, there's a Chief Justice in Fontaine. Generally speaking, the Hydra Archon, Focalor, won't preside over individual trials. However, even then, Focalor will still make herself present at just about every trial. It seems that she just likes to immerse herself in that sort of atmosphere. As Archon, she still reserves the right to influence the final verdict. Anyway, let's just say she's got, a very unique personality.
I'm actually very much looking forward to the Fontaine Archon quest. Here it's a good one. I'm looking forward to getting into Fontaine, actually. I've got nothing else to say.
Are you sure? Isn't there something else you haven't asked about yet? Huh? You mean... about your brother?
Oh, yeah. That's the whole point we were speaking to the Archons.
While you were resting at Gandharvaville, I took some time to perform an Irminsul search for information on your brother.
But we both came from beyond the Sea of Stars. There shouldn't be any information on him on an Irminsul.
Yeah! Isn't Irminsul a repository for all the information and memories of Teyvat? So there shouldn't be anything on her or her brother.
Yeah, but hasn't he been here for a long time? Wasn't he at Kanchkar? So he has been here for like longer than we have. This whole kind of time dilation thing.
This is true in your case. Irminsul indeed does not have any information on you. However, there must be something different about your brother. Because as it turns out, the world has recorded information on him after all.
What?
There's only one possible explanation. He belongs to this world.
Oh, that's not quite what I was expecting. How is that possible? We journeyed to the Sea of Stars all our lives until we came here. How could he possibly hail from Teyvat? Things don't add up. Is there something wrong with my memories, or is it this world that has done something to him?
But nothing about this makes any sense. Wasn't this your first trip to Teyvat?
Do you have any further intel? Do you know what it's been through?
According to the records I was able to access, your sibling suddenly appeared in Conria.
Yeah, Kaeya, that's yeah, he was there from the beginning.
After the Conria disaster, he began his journey through the 7 nations of Teyvat. But just as his journey was about to reach its conclusion, the Irminsul records on him suddenly become fuzzy.
What do you mean, fuzzy? Did something happen to him?
All I know for sure is that somebody, for reasons only they can know, is deliberately obfuscating his fate. And whoever it is, if they can do that, who knows what else they're capable of.
Could it be related to the Abyss? Well, I mean, that kind of goes without saying, doesn't it?
But even that wouldn't explain how he somehow comes from this world.
See, I mean, yeah, I wasn't expecting him to come from this world. I just thought because he's been here for a lot longer.
Something else I noticed was that according to these records, the Fatui have not classified your sibling as one of the Descenders.
Descenders?
What's a descender? Paimon's never heard of it.
Look, I'm sure you must be curious about the information I received from the Fatui in return for my gnosis, right? A very important part of the intel was about this world's Descenders. External beings, ones that don't belong to this world. Traveler, you are Teyvat's 4th Descender.
4th?
Huh? So the Fatui count 3 other Descenders before the Traveler, and her brother isn't even one of them?
That's right. My current hypothesis is that the first Descender was likely what we now call the Heavenly Principles. As for the other Descenders, I still need to verify their existence. It could take me some time.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that has piqued my curiosity.
Paimon's head's about to burst from all this crazy new information.
And yet, even knowing all this, I'm sure you must still have a lot of unanswered questions. I must say, I truly regret that I can't help you more as the God of Wisdom. There are many questions in my heart as well. I will need some time to go through each one of them.
Same here. I'll need some time to reflect on what you've said.
And soon, you'll also begin your journey anew and depart from Sumeru. I'm very interested in your future. It's a journey that can't be observed or recorded by this world. If fate is the ultimate knowledge, then your future will be the ultimate fate.
I'm sure glad we got to meet you, Nahida.
The pleasure is all mine. I can't thank you enough. Alright, that's enough talk for today. If you ever miss me, just close your eyes, and maybe I'll appear in your dreams.
Oh, there we go, Act 5 complete. Awesome. Okay, yeah, so there is now an Act 6. And we've also got the interlude has come up as well. But that's obviously, I guess we have to complete Act 6 before we can do the interlude, maybe. Let's just have a double check on that. Oh no, we need to do a story quest. Whose story quest is that? Oh, we need to do Kazua's story quest. Alright. Well, I guess we'll probably get onto that one at some point then. But yeah, I guess we're going to carry on. What's the time now? Yeah, we've got loads of time. Let's start Act 6. Let's see if we can get this one completed. I'm not sure how long this act is going to be. Act 5 was pretty long. I'm wondering whether this will be as long. Let's go for this one. Okay, so here we are in Port Ormos. We're going to speak to this guy. Get the next bit of the quest started.
Huh? Wait, you're that blonde traveler who's on a journey to all corners of Teyvat, right?
Who's asking? Do you need something from us?
You bet I do. I was worried I wouldn't be able to find you. I have a letter for you, you see. It's from another Outlander. He was a crafty fellow, let me tell you. Took advantage of a loophole in our mailing system by opting for guaranteed delivery, then filling in the most obscure mailing address I've ever seen.
Well, we are always on the road, so yeah, it's pretty tough to get mail to us unless we happen to go to the post office on a whim. So, what address did that person give you anyway?
He just wrote, next to a small, white-haired talking fairy.
What? So the address is Paimon?
Okay.
Yeah, exactly, right? And if I failed to deliver the letter, I'd have been bound by regulation to compensate him. Really, he got me good. I count myself very lucky that I ran into you here.
Great. Well, let me see this letter. Let me see this letter. I'm really curious who could have sent it.
Of course. Here it is. All yours.
Come on! Paimon wants to have a look too!
Okay, it's been a while. How have you been? I've heard that two of you are travelling in Sumeru, and I happen to be in Port Ormos on official business. Lately, I've been stopping by Jafar Tavern for a drink or two every afternoon. If luck's on my side and this letter successfully reaches you, come to me then and we can catch up on old times. We'll see it as a fated encounter. Your trusted buddy, Kaeya. Oh,
Kaeya, huh?
haven't seen him for a while.
Here in Sumeru. Now that Paimon thinks about it, Crafty does describe him pretty well.
Yeah, I can't say I'm hugely surprised. This is definitely Kaeya's style.
From what he wrote in the letter, it looks like he didn't think there was much chance of it reaching us. Or maybe he's just being sneaky. Do you think he's making this sound like a miracle of fate so that we'd have to go meet up with him?
Very scheming indeed. Well, no harm done. It'll be nice to catch up with him.
Yeah, you're right. It's always nice to see old friends. The letter says that he hangs out at Jafar Tavern every afternoon. Perhaps we should drop in on him then, huh?
Alright, Act 6 started. Honestly, it seems a little strange because Act 5 kind of seems to conclude everything, but what is this going to be? Okay, anyway, let's wait until the following afternoon. 4 o'clock.
Kaeya should be at Jafar Tavern right now. Let's go see him.
Let's do that right now then. Yeah, we haven't seen Kaeya for a long time, probably not since... When's the last time I've actually seen him in a cutscene? Like, probably the Mondstadt Archon quest. There it is.
I'll have something I haven't tried yet, boss.
Sorry, sir. I'm afraid you've already tried every type of liquor we serve.
Oh? Well then, just the bill, please. It's just as well, I suppose. I do have other matters to attend to.
Kaeya, you're really here! Paimon half thought you were playing some sort of prank on us.
Hey, Paimon, traveler. Looks like the gods smile upon me after all. And come now, I wouldn't joke about wanting to see my good friends.
If you say so, we've missed you too.
Wait a second. You must be here on official business, right? What do you think you're doing spending every afternoon drinking at the tavern? You itching for a lecture from Jean?
Not at all. The acting Grand Master positively terrifies me. Why would I ever do anything that might displease her?
The way Kaeya speaks is just, I can't take anything he says seriously. It's like, whatever he says, I'm sure he means the opposite. Very believable. You terrified? I don't buy it.
The truth is, I'm in Sumeru to learn about the alcohol industry here. So despite how it might look, I'm actually at Jafar Tavern for strictly business purposes.
It's very convenient.
Sumeru spices are famous the world over, and it's long been rumored that this fine establishment was where a certain very popular spiced cocktail was invented. That's why the Knights sent me, their foremost expert in alcoholic beverages, to come and see if it is as good as the rumors say.
So the expert in alcoholic beverages, is that really a title you would aspire to? Maybe.
And how did that go?
So far, so good. I'm already in talks with some spice merchants in Port Ormos about some potential collaboration.
I would have thought Venti would have been a higher authority, but I guess he's maybe not part of the Knights.
Yeah, that does sound like a great business opportunity. Guess Don Winery and Master D-Luke are gonna make a tidy sum from this one too, huh?
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Whether this lucrative opportunity gets passed along to Don Winery or not depends on how nice I'm feeling.
Hey! Using your job to settle personal grievances isn't very knightly, Captain!
I'm guessing you've been to Sumeru before.
Oh? What makes you say that?
You came to Sumeru all on your own, so you must be quite familiar with the place.
Very sharp of you. I wouldn't say I'm familiar, though. I just came here on the sly once, when I was very young.
And? Do continue.
Do I have to? When I said we could talk about the old times, digging up my past wasn't exactly what I had in mind.
Don't worry about it. You don't have to go into great detail.
Well, all right, since you're so interested. Like I said, I was very young then. Don Winery had only just taken me in. I overheard my adoptive father talk about sending a team of merchants to Sumeru during a business meeting. I'm sure you'll agree that everyone's curious about their roots on some level. And my roots? They're in Conria, which is said to have been located deep underground, somewhere near Sumeru.
Kaeya.
And so I stowed myself away amidst the cargo, and silently joined the merchant delegation on their trip to Sumeru. But it wasn't long before the merchant delegation received news that I'd gone missing. Their leader promptly found me, and before I knew it, my adoptive father was dragging me back home by the ear. It was a short-lived adventure. Sorry I don't have a more thrilling story for you.
Speaking of Kaeya, how much do you know about it?
Honestly, not much. The only reason I knew that Conria was near Sumeru is because I happened to read that in a book when I was young.
What was that, Ainsley?
My life had less and less to do with Conria as I grew up, and so I started caring less as well. I used to believe that I had inherited some sort of duty from my father. But then I began to wonder. Maybe my father left me in the peaceful land of Mondstadt for no other reason than simply to keep me alive. As well as ensuring that I'd be safely cut off from certain things. The thought that I might be able to actually live a happy life there must have been the icing on the cake. This is obviously all speculation. Simply put, I'm afraid that I'm not particularly in the know on this topic. These days, my surname, Alberich, is probably the only link to Conria that I have left.
One death afternoon, please, boss.
It is.
Tell me, what do you know about the significance of that name, Alberich?
Dainsleif?
Ah, you've decided to join us. I was wondering how long you planned on listening in. I believe I've seen you before in Mondstadt. Dainsleif, if I'm not mistaken.
So you remember me. Then we are already acquainted, Kaeya Alberich, descendant of the Abyss Order's founder.
Oh, did we know that before? I don't think we did. The Abyss Order?
What?
I take it that you weren't aware of this until now, Kaeya. Or you wouldn't have been so forthcoming with your surname.
Oh my. That's quite a lot of baggage for a surname, isn't it? Though I must say, it does confirm an old suspicion of mine. I suppose that was why my father left me in Mondstadt after all.
I'm surprised that you take me at my word without the faintest hint of skepticism.
Well, perhaps what you told me just happens to answer some questions I carry in my memories. And in any case, I recognize your eyes. You're a pure-blood Conrian, aren't you?
Very clever. Forgive me for being direct, but I sincerely hope this new knowledge doesn't change anything. If you've already let go of your ties to the past, then keep it that way.
Kaeya, you're not involved with the Abyss Order in any way, are you?
Hey, hold on now. This conversation has taken a rather sudden turn for the deadly serious. And I'm afraid that as someone from Mondstadt, I'm not accustomed to this sort of atmosphere. So what if I know my ancestry? Do I strike you as the type who would be bound by that kind of thing? Relax. I'll be just as delighted to hunt down the Abyss Order tomorrow as I have always been.
I trust you, Kaeya. I guess.
Either way, looks like we're out of time. I've got a spice merchant to meet in a minute, so I'll leave the three of you to carry on the conversation without me.
Well, alright then. You go do your thing, Kaeya.
See you around. And Dainsleif, no need to listen in from the sidelines next time we meet. Let me buy you a drink.
You don't really trust him, do you, Dane? You're both from Conria, but you get on like oil and water.
The fact is, I still do not know him well. It would be meaningless for me to jump to conclusions. But can a person truly be unaffected by their ancestry? This remains to be seen.
So you said that Albrecht founded the Abyss Order. I thought my sibling was the founder.
Well, I suspect that they call your brother their prince, precisely because there is a succession of sorts.
Oh, so if he was the founder, he'd be the king, right?
So what do you plan to do here in Sumeru?
I mean to investigate the Loom of Fate. Do you remember that name?
Yeah, the Abyss Order's evil plan! We learned about that back in Mondstadt.
You've got a new lead?
Not new. Not exactly. My memories suffer from erosion. But while I was recovering my health recently, I suddenly remembered something. Your brother. He mentioned the Loom of Fate back when we traveled together.
All the way back then? So that was already a thing several centuries ago.
Apparently so. I was also quite surprised when these memories tallied up. I recall that we were traveling to Sumeru when the matter was brought up.
So, you're going to the place that he mentioned back then?
Correct. At that time, they must have been introduced in one way or another to this concept. If I recall correctly, we were somewhere in Avidya Forest then.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go! Maybe we'll discover some secret that's lain hidden for hundreds of years!
No. Now is not the time.
Are you concerned about the Abyss Order? Are we waiting for the perfect moment?
No, it's just... I'm still waiting for my drink.
Okay. After Dane finishes the drink, he prepares to travel to the Avidya Forest. He's got his priorities in order. Alright, okay. Well, I think, tell you what then, let's not get too involved in this one just yet. We're almost at the end. We've run out of time. So yeah, we'll leave it there for today, and we're going to get stuck into this one next time out. Thank you for joining me today. Certainly learned a few things here and there. That's quite exciting. Yeah, I guess what's the plan then? We'll finish off this act. We've got to do Kazua's story quest, an interlude, and then on the way to Fontaine. I know I've got like so many things to do, like all the world quest, which I haven't even been taking on, and there's so much to do. But we'll get around to everything eventually. But yeah, okay, right. Well, I'll see you next time out then. Okay, see ya. Bye.